Hey, good morning. Well, morning for some of you guys. It's definitely morning for me. Some of you guys like, Uncle, this might be like midnight for you. I'm not real sure where some of you guys are at in the world.
I'm not even sure where I am anymore. So
exactly, you don't even know. So Austin here, I've got Zach here, and so we've got some of the key team members from Sharbi here. Philip, Hero, Uncle Nut. Obviously, we're here to talk about all things Sharbi. Lots of stuff going on. Want to get into this, but welcome, gentlemen, and thanks for your time. Greatly appreciate you guys giving us a few minutes. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about Sharbi. So first thing, kind of housekeeping, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're broadcasting on my channel, Zach's channel, I think on my Twitter account. I don't even know, everywhere. We're just kind of, we're shooting this everywhere. So Uncle, I'm going to open it up to you, man. We got a lot of things going on and got a new listing. So yeah, go, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, first of all, much gratitude for having us on the show. I know this was like last minute, middle of Easter. Both of you guys have got family all over your place, so thank you so much for having us all here. Delighted to speak with the other lads on Sharbi and what's been achieved today. It's been a pretty epic day. As you know, 8 a.m. this morning UTC, which wasn't that long ago, we
You're good. You're good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I think we lost Uncle. He lost us. So
you're still good, Uncle. If you can hear us.
All right, Hero, I'm gonna throw it to you.
Sure.
Mexi,
okay.
Mexi listing.
Yeah. Edit.
Am I back again?
You're back.
Yep.
You're good.
Yep. Yeah. Damn. Well, you can tell that I'm not in a first world country right now. There's a hint, right?
Yeah.
And if this happens again, the other two guys are awesome, so they can take over. But I'm going to shoot real quick. We're market cap on Ethereum right now of 8.6 million. We launched on Mexi at 8 a.m. UTC this morning. We've got almost 4,000 wallets right now, which is incredible for a project that's less than 3 months old. The most amazing thing, and something that we'd sort of prayed silently that would happen, we've almost tipped 500,000 turnover in yet, it's probably just 5-6 hours. So that's, incredible for us. And it will be for sure after the 24 hours, it'll be a record turnover. The fact that we're now hitting the Asian market with Mexi and, our demographics are increasing. We're now getting exposure there. They had $80 million raised for the airdrop, which was pretty stunning numbers. What can I say, guys? It's an epic day for us, and the community is buzzing. We're also about to launch our NFT collection. In fact, it's live right now on OpenSea. We'll share that. There you go. Fantastic. And we have great pleasure and delight in we're going to be sending both you and Zach a one of one, the highest tier. And so we believe that these guys are going to go down in history. First ever meme collection we've done. Who knows where Sharbi's going to be in 12 months from now, but we have some sort of an idea. And I believe these will become solid collector, items. And we'll probably, knowing the way that we work, there'll probably be some utility down the track. So it's another exciting thing. Top level down overview on where we are right now. We're in negotiations with yet another T1 exchange, and we'll be announcing that before we even launch on Shibarium, if everything goes well. Shibarium launch will most probably, 99.9% sure, we can't 100% it, but we believe it'll be next month. And what we do know is that...
Uncle, you really think it'll be May? I mean, I would love for it to be May. I've kind of been saying June and July. So I was like, I'd like for you to be right there, man.
Yeah, well, we have an inkling. Just let's say we have an inkling that it's going to be May.
Heard it here first.
So, I like inkling. There you go, man.
No, we like Alpha.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much more than that, but all I'll say, if you hold Sharbi right now, it's going to be probably the most epic 8 weeks of your crypto life. There you go.
Well, there you go. So we have Inkling and most epic. There you go. I'm just gonna tweet that out. Uncle said Inkling and there we go. Right.
So what I'll do is I'll hand over to Crypto Hero or Deep Phillip, and they can have a natter and tell you their perspective on Sharbi. But we're pretty chuffed right now.
Cool.
Yeah, we are.
Hero, go ahead, man.
All right. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us on. It's pretty. It's really an honor. We followed you guys for a long time, and really have followed the SHIB story for a long time. And I feel like, being a part of Sharbi, we are, slowly becoming part of that SHIB story. And I know that the team is really excited about being able to contribute to, the whole ecosystem, and while we build our ecosystem alongside it. So I think it's really exciting, talking with, some of the really forefront leaders of that movement for SHIB. And, so thanks for having us. It is really exciting. I think that this MEXC listing is really just, we've been for 2.5 months kind of pushing a ball uphill. That's how I feel. Growing our team and growing our community, and this MEXC listing is kind of that tip off back down that hill where it's like everything's about to start kicking into high gear. And I think that when Uncle talks and says, this is going to be the most exciting 6 to 8 weeks of his crypto career, I feel that as well. I think that this tier 1 listing leads to other tier 1s looking at us, especially with the kind of volume we got in this at the start. I think that's why everybody's so excited about the volume is, if you're getting high volume on your first tier 1, the other tier 1s are going to be like, wait a second,
Yeah.
we want some of that too. So I think that's where the excitement comes from, bringing in new people, new wallets from MEXC, and hopefully bringing some new people from there into our community and seeing what our community is like, because I think our community is infectious, and I know it's infectious for me and the other guys on here. When we're in our community and working and trying to spread Sharbi, if you step into our community, you feel it and you're proud of it. And I think that's all the motivation you need to really continue to work hard and try and grow more. So.
Yeah, and I think I would add, Philip, I'll throw it to you, throw you the mic in a minute. I would add, Uncle Hero, Philip, most people don't have a clue as far as what is involved with getting these exchanges. And it's a process. Usually, sometimes, you have to pay them, give them tokens. I mean, that's not where I'm going with this, but I really want to go with is that it's not just like you throw a switch and here we go. It's work. I mean, yep. Hero, you mentioned, pushing I guess a ball uphill or whatever that analogy was. I mean, there is some truth in that. And it's to be applauded when you start to get these exchanges, and you're right. You're focusing on the right things like volume and all that kind of stuff. So again, congrats on that, man. It's good stuff. So Philip, I'll throw you the microphone if you want to go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, so first of all, thanks for inviting us. Amazing to be on this show with you guys. So, yeah, maybe let me share a bit about how I found Sharbi, and, 8 weeks down the line, which feels like a couple of days, I guess. And at the same time, it feels like years because we've done so many things. So my first experience with a meme token was actually last year. Before that, I was very much a, let's say, utility maxi. And last year, I found another meme token through which I found out more about Shiba Inu and Ryoshi, Satoshi. I learned more about the background, how did it all start, and why are people so engaged and so enthusiastic with meme tokens. Because before that, I didn't really understand. I came in, like, I think maybe many people early days, as like, okay, like, what is crypto actually creating? What is like the utility behind the projects, like the technical stuff? And then I discovered last year, like, wow, okay, these meme communities, it's something completely different than I was used to. There is no like expectations of like team or VCs that are, pumping in a lot of money and bringing in amazing teams to create something, but there it is so much revolving around the community. And I was very amazed by this, because I didn't really see that in the utility project I was following before. And then this year, Sharbi has been actually my second serious meme token that I got into. Um, because, yeah, on my journey in last year, I found other communities as well. But yeah, as we all know, there is a lot of scams and rugs in crypto, and there's also a lot of darkness. So it's really unique, in my opinion, to find communities like Sharbi. So I came in and I was a bit hesitant. It was like a week before we launched on Ethereum. I was just exploring my Arbitrum journey, but I was like, yeah, something felt good to me. It was recommended by a close friend, and I got into the community. And as time progressed, and it continues to progress, I keep on being surprised by what is being done, what is being delivered. We started as a small community with a small team, and for people who are watching, actually, all three of us, we are not like officially team members. We are all community members. We found Sharbi, something attracted us to Sharbi. We stayed, and we became part of, maybe let's say, the core community members. But there are so many of us who are doing so many different things. We started with one Telegram group, and now we have different groups for Twitter rates, for memes and art, for sound and music, for social media strategy, for talks with exchanges. And as Austin was saying, I want to highlight, because I've seen in the other meme community I've been last year, how the tier one exchanges, how arduous the process is and how challenging it is to get on there. And now today with Sharbi, we got on Maxi, which is nowadays considered to be like one of the top 10 or maybe even top 5. I don't even know, but it's like a very, very high rated exchange. So I've been part of the process, how I've been working together to make this happen. The team, the community, continuously working on Twitter, raiding, sharing the Sharbi vibe. Then we released on YouTube also already some videos. We have various other social platforms. So I'm personally a creative person. Before I got into crypto, I was DJing all over the world and making music. So, for me, being in the right communities already started there, like finding, let's say, these places where, like-minded people come together to create amazing experiences together. And now in crypto, finding these communities that are working so hard every day and so passionate and creating this amazing art. We briefly discussed the NFTs that we are releasing, and I also invite everyone to read the description of the NFTs. When you go there, you can see the description that tells a bit of the story. So yeah, I'm just very, very much amazed, and I see how the team continuously keeps on under promising and over delivering. And that's kind of the opposite of my experience with crypto thus far, because it's always been delayed. I also worked at the centralized exchange myself, and getting things done, it just doesn't always go as fast as we would like to. And here it's been the opposite. So I'm continuously being energized. There's continuously stuff happening. Also, these AMAs, Twitter Spaces. So there's so much going on, and the energy is so high all the time. So for me, it's a really amazing experience. There's so many like-minded souls that we share this similar visions. A lot of artists that are involved. So yeah, very much
Very cool.
grateful to be part of this journey.
Excellent, Philip. That was awesome. Thank you. So, Uncle, what I want to do is I want to pull back up your tweet that you put out. I think that's a really good kind of guide, if you will, of what I think we should cover. And obviously, you can add, expand however you want. So I know you did this tweet, and this is one of two. We kind of there's 1 through 3, and then we've got 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to again turn the stage over to you, to Hero, to Philip, whoever wants to kind of talk about this. But I think that I would definitely want to start here. Meme 2.0 utility. I'll start with a baseline statement. I'm going to remind some of those who weren't around for the early SHIB days when Shiba Inu launched. It was the community was the utility, right? And you started there, and then swap came and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna turn it over to you so to kind of take us through these points. So
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess the first thing and the major point that we want to differentiate with is that, just like SHIB, for example, I think it took like 7 months for SHIB. I mean, of course, they built an incredible community, but it took probably 7 months for the swap to come on board. And, it's taken 2 years to build what is going to be an unbelievable ecosystem. The amazing thing with Sharbi is that we come out of the gates, I think maybe only 2 weeks from launching, and we'd already got the swap, done, the Sharbi swap. And in the background, we also know that we're really far down the timeline with the bridge. Now, when we came out of the blocks, the major differentiator, if you like, from first generation memes to where we were or where we are is that the 5% transaction tax and the 4% going back to the wallets of record on the blockchain. So in simple terms, if you buy Sharbi, even if you buy it on Mexi, for example, you transfer it into your wallet, your Trust wallet or MetaMask, whatever it is, your cut of the rewards, proportionate or pro rata to your holdings, will be deposited if you're on the ETH chain every single day, once a day. So, we call it P to H, pay to hold, right? You're paid to hold. But as you know, the Sharbi community, we don't just sit there and do nothing. The people are so inspired, that all of a sudden you're not just sitting at something and sort of sweating every day on what the price is. I mean, if you've got a longer term vision, which, we try to educate people to take, you're getting paid every day. So you're seeing rewards for your efforts, which is incredible. So that's what we call meme 2.0, where you're really getting something tangible back. The Mexi listing today is a massive step forward for us. And the fact that we were able to pull off a tier 1 exchange so quickly, I think is testament to what we are as a community. And that is very, very important for us to build volume. Those were on the voice chat with me yesterday, and the other members, they'll remember me saying, I was posed a question by one of the community members, and it was, where do you see the Mexi listing? What do you see it doing in terms of turnover? And I said, look, we could, today we've turned over 50,000. That was in the last 24 hours yesterday. I said, I believe we'll do 250 to 500,000 in the first day. And if we do that, it will be phenomenal. So, the way this has turned out, we're going to end up doing way more than what I even estimated. And these are major milestones for a token. It ain't easy to get on them. It ain't easy to get on a T1. They're very expensive. You have to, pass a lot of due diligence. They don't just accept any project. The fact that we have another T1 that we'll be announcing in the near future, and this is a larger exchange again, is once again going to take us to another maybe 2 or 3 times what our turnover is at the moment. So you can see that as you do that, you're expanding the community. Like just today, you know, after 2 hours, we'd already had 40, 50 new members inside our Telegram. Wallets, you know, have jumped up as well. Now, this continues day in and day out. Turnover is more
Did we lose him?
now than what it was again.
Yeah.
And then after that, Shibarium. So, and that takes us to another stratosphere. So, you know, that this is like, you know, the steps that we're doing are really methodical. They're really, this has been so well planned out. The leadership group has basically got backup plan to backup plan to backup plan if something goes wrong. We never say what we're doing until we really know what's really happening. And those that are in the community have watched the sort of crazy utility that we keep banging out, know that. And I think Philip said it earlier, or maybe Hero, that, you know, we talk less and we do more. You know, actions speak louder than words. So Shibarium, and you guys are so well versed at how big Shibarium is going to be. You know, you've got the might of SHIB behind it, 1.34 million wallets. I mean, those numbers are just insane. You have a community of a couple of million people. Now, no one can tell me that this is, I mean, if you look at our Arbitrum launch, which was sensational and was great timing as well, but what we're talking about with Shibarium is it's going to make Arbitrum versus Presley thrusts of the hips when we go Shibarium. You know, this is going to be insanity. And let's just say we're first to launch on Shibarium. There's no guarantees, but let's just say we are first. There will be no other first in the history of Shibarium. We'll always be known as the first. Even if we're one of the first 3 or 5, we'll always be known as the first 3 or 5. Now you can imagine with that ecosystem and the power and the might of the SHIB community and the greater crypto community coming into the SHIB ecosystem, A, what does it do to SHIB price? 2, what does it do when you only have a few projects that are listing on Shibarium with such demand? Now, I'll remind everyone, we have no dev wallets, we had no pre-sale, we have no private sale, no VCs involved. We're fully distributed, fully renounced contract. What does that really mean? The more people that come in, the more decentralized we become each and every day. We are on a course for a supply shock. When all the tokens are out there, there's no more tokens to be released. What is the next step? And you've got all of a sudden a surge in demand, i.e., another T1, or more importantly, a Shibarium launch with such amazing support. You know, you're heading to a pretty scary good scenario. And I think the NFT collection and the ways that we are, you know, building these new revenue streams. You know, we just launched an hour ago or half an hour ago, the new collection of, or the first ever collection of Sharbi memes. There they are. They're beautiful. And, you know, you're talking about world famous artist Archan Nair that has actually designed many of these. You know, here's a guy that sold his last piece on Ethereum for 150, his last one of one for 150 ETH. Sale before that on another piece was 130 ETH. I mean, he's gone out and they're designed, I'd say probably half of those. So you're buying a world famous artist who's also a Sharbi holder and very, very active in our community, someone that's like incredible. And I can already see that we've been up for like, I don't know, 20 minutes. We've sold 5 ETH worth already. So we haven't even gone out and promoted it yet. This is just from within our community. So all of the money that is actually generated goes straight to the treasury wallet. And to me, this is where Sharbi is different to every other project. Whales in our community have raised probably in the vicinity of $350,000 US already. You don't have any whales to dump on you. It's quite the polar opposite. You've got whales spending their own money to get listings, to do marketing. Now we've got initiatives like where we've done a collaboration with another project, and generated another incredible amount of ETH. So we're sitting on a really healthy treasury wallet that it didn't come out of any community members, pockets, meaning if we'd separated and kept a marketing budget, that means there would be tokens to be released, or team tokens. They would be dumping every month on the holders. So we don't have that. So we're able to go out there, raise crazy amounts of money to do whatever we really want. There is no ceiling that me personally I'm going to put on Sharbi, because I've already seen what the power and the might of this community has. So I think we're down to the last point, and that is the community, right? And I'm sort of touching on it right now. I've been in crypto since 2015. I can, hand on heart, say I've never seen anything like this community. I've been in a community that's close to it, and you guys probably know what that is, but to have a community that is so cohesive, that is so focused on getting to the end game, and that is to be the meme token of 2023. And we are so focused on getting there. We have tunnel vision, and we are going to use all our energy, all our might, all our connections to make sure that step by step we get there. The other thing is, when people come into our community, they fall in love with Sharbi. I've fallen in love with Sharbi. Philip's fallen in love with Sharbi. Hero's fallen in love with Sharbi. You two guys are holders as well.
Yeah.
What made you want to get involved with Sharbi? It's like, there had to be some driver there, right? So, I think what we're doing here is using actions to speak louder than words, and that you don't see very often in crypto. I mean, maybe Shiba is a great example of another one that says we're going to do something and they do it. Another one that has their eyes on the ball of building an ecosystem that helps clean up DeFi. These are our mutual goals as well. How can we make DeFi great again? How can we make communities great again? Lead by example. So I think I've got I banged out some points there, and if the other lads want to add to it, please go ahead.
Yeah, maybe briefly on especially the last points that you shared. What I also mentioned before, how this strength of the community and the collaboration and this integration with the SHIB ecosystem, this is what I love so much about crypto, where you can see communities that work together towards the same goal, which is crypto. We want crypto to share crypto with the world, because we see so much potential in it, in ways that the majority of the world doesn't see it yet. But for me, I see so many beautiful things, building a world where crypto or blockchain technology can tackle problems from environmental stuff to world hunger. And as we develop, and because I in the beginning, before I stumbled upon crypto, I was very curious, but I didn't really know what is it all about? What is the mystery? And the more I explore, the more I see also, okay, there is so much. Crypto is on the one hand still so small on a world stage, but on the other hand, when you dive into crypto and you see all these sub communities and working on so many different ideas and so much creativity, it's so exciting. It's become my full-time thing right now. So being able to build with other communities that share the same vision, whether it's Shiba Inu or other communities, I really love that we can, as Uncle already said, lead by example and show hey, we don't, obviously there is some sort of competition, but we with collaboration we can achieve so much more. We can see it within one community, but we can see it also with communities together. Let's work towards a common goal. Show how beautiful crypto can be. Between all the negativity that people maybe hear in the mainstream media, that we also have seen ourselves. So let's really show what it can be about. And yeah, that's what excites me so much. And with Sharbi, yeah, so far it's been an absolutely amazing journey.
So, Hero, I'll give you the mic in just a minute, but I want to comment on something that Philip just said that's interesting. Zach, you may know where I'm about to take this. It's that Zach and I've been doing this every single day since 21, right? But I want to talk about, it feels like there's a turning of the tide, and I'm saying this and I want your guys' opinion because y'all have been around this block a few times yourself, is that we had, I think in 2022 was the year of toxicity, and some of 21 between different community tokens, meme tokens. Yeah, and so there was that, and I don't feel it as much. It feels like that community tokens are now starting to say, hey, look, I can own Shiba Inu and I can own Sharbi, and that's okay. Whereas like back in early, Zach, I'll give you this in just a minute. Back in early 21 is like, I can remember there was a point where I was covering Shiba Inu and I didn't want to cover another community token because I thought that it was going to be this whole thing. But that seems to have changed. So Zach, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think, I think things are really changing now with Shibarium. I think the greatest community tokens are going to launch on Shibarium. And I think Shib has kind of set the blueprint, if you will. And now it's like, instead of trying to compete with Shib, let's work with Shib. And I think Shibarium allows for that. We're seeing all these great Shibarium projects. We're talking about Sharbi right now. And I think you're right. I think the tribalism's still there, but I think people are getting smarter too. I think investors are getting smarter, right? They understand that, hey, I shouldn't have just one token and put all my eggs in one basket, right? Why not diversify out? Have a few community tokens, have some AI cryptos, have some layer ones, have some layer two. Why not, right? So I think there's a combination of things happening. But going back to the first point, Shibarium changes everything. I truly believe that. I think it's going to be the L2 for community tokens moving forward. It's going to be the place you go. And again, the entire ecosystem builds you up rather than it's us versus them mentality,
And I think that's a great lead in to our leadership. Our leadership comes from the SHIB community, and are leaders in the SHIB community, and have had their parts from early days SHIB. So our mindset of inclusivity, our mindset of sharing the love, our mindset of of working together and educating, I think that comes from our leadership. That was set early days in Sharbi, is that we aren't competitors. We're not competing against others. We are sharing information in a way that helps everyone. I think that's really a really good reflection of SHIB and what they've become, right? Because they weren't that at the beginning, and that evolution I believe really started from SHIB, and I think that we've kind of taken it on with spreading love, right? Like I think that's Sharbi's kind of motto now is we're spreading love. There's hearts on everything that we do, and you feel it in our community. And when we're talking or when we're tweeting out things, it is a mindset of this is not there is not competition. It is education. It is working to grow. When there's questions in our community, it's not met with head-on negativity, right? People are allowed to ask questions as long as they're respectful. and I think that's important to know, and important as we grow. To have that mindset of, we are here to help others. We're here to be inclusive rather than excluding. Excluding. I think that women in blockchain movement from SHIB is really important, and I think that Sharbi, we're trying to portray her as a strong female crypto figurehead, and I think that's important, right? I know that we have a lot of female leaders in our community, and on our call yesterday, we actually had some of them step up and talking, and I think that really, as a community, we are trying to really support that and support those kind of movements as well, and I think that's it's so important for crypto as a community. And that's the vision, right? Is that all of us are early in crypto and trying to bring more people in with us. And by meeting that with a welcoming, with love, with a passion for what we're doing, is just going to continue to grow that process, right?
Well said, sir. Hey, I wanted to just pull this up. Francis was looking on Uniswap, so I dropped in the Ethereum side. That's the contract address. So, and by the way, there's links down below to kind of all things Sharbi in the description. So if y'all are looking for information, there's a link down there to the Twitter page, the website, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. So kind of moving on. So we've crossed about the 37-minute mark here. Uncle, whoever, again, wants to kind of take this.
Austin, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah. You're not allowed to talk, Zach, at all. No. Please, go ahead.
There were some things up a little bit, some questions and stuff that I kind of saw coming in. And I think one was by Justin, basically saying hello to all of us. I'm really new to crypto, but I'm invested in SHIB. And I think a lot of people are here, right? And I'm asking, is Sharbi, are you guys talking about something that's connected to SHIB? So maybe if we can kind of like rehash the whole like Shibarium connection.
Yeah, that was Ivan. Here you go.
Yeah, Ivan.
So is Sharbi another coin separated from Shiba? Will it burn Shiba if it is another coin? Shouldn't we be focused more on Shiba? No. Again, I think this goes back to the tribalism scenario, right? So? One thing I want to point out, Zach and I talk about it all the time. Diversify, diversify, diversify. Be diversified. Own the blue chips. By the way, don't just own crypto. Own some stocks. All that.
So real quick, anything launching on Shibarium helps Shiba Inu.
Absolutely.
Because you want huge amounts of transactions. You want Shibarium to be as big, or if not bigger, than Polygon. If that happens with new DApps, with projects like Sharbi launching, that's all good because it all burns SHIB. It all comes back into the SHIB ecosystem. Branding, all of that. I mean, so we've been trying to relay this message out there, and I think people are slowly but surely kind of understanding. But again, they're kind of still seeing it as like, oh, this is going to butt heads. The same thing happened with Bone, right? Yeah. When all of the things started coming out, what Bone would be, and it's like, oh wait, this is going to take away from SHIB. No. This is only going to add to SHIB. It's the exact
100%. Yeah, look, go ahead.
So I think it is important to note that about a little over a month ago, our dev did tweet out that she had a call with Satoshi, and on that call, she stepped away from that call, or our team leadership came away with that call with plans for a secret utility for Shibarium. None of us know what that utility is, but it came away from that call. So, and it is tweeted out there. So, that it is out there, that happened. And I don't know what that's going to be, but I do know that it's developed to help SHIB, right? Being on Shibarium, and that mindset is there, right? So, that's important.
I think, again, Zach, thank you for bringing this up. Shibarium is a game changer, yes, for the SHIB ecosystem, but for all not just community meme tokens, but for kind of all of it, right? And you see,
absolutely,
that's what I was really trying to get at the heart of it, Zach. So thanks for bringing that back up. Is that I think that the landscape has changed. I think that it feels like it's changing, where you don't have as much of this tribalism scenario, which it just shouldn't exist. You know, tribalism shouldn't even be a thing. You know,
if we're going to be tribal about anything, be tribal about crypto. We only make up 5% of the world. Let's be tribal about crypto.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
yeah. Look, I think that where we're going, like, with, the SHIB ecosystem and the impact it's going to have on the entire crypto industry is, I think a lot of people, unless you're in the SHIB, unless you hold SHIB and you've been following the whole narrative, I think most of crypto doesn't really know how big this really is.
They don't.
And I know you guys do, and I know I do, and I know these guys do, and probably the reason why we're also smitten with holding Sharbi, is we get a chance to do a SHIB all over again.
Well, and you just nailed it, dude. I mean, I wish I would have bought Shiba Inu back in August or whatever of 2020. I didn't know about it until April, May of 21. And so I think that to me is the key. If you're looking for, look at these projects like Sharbi and find the good ones and the ones that match up with what you're looking for as far as your, how you, with the utility and, to your point, the community and all that stuff. That's what you care about. And be
absolutely,
early,
Yeah, like, we are so damn early. We're not even 10 million market cap. We've done that in just over 2 months. I mean, imagine buying SHIB at 10 million market cap and it goes up to 41 billion.
Exactly.
Just do the numbers on that. So if you spend $100 on Sharbi now, I think most people could afford $100. Let it go out there and just, be part of the community and cheer from the sidelines. I mean, look at where SHIB is right now. I read a partnership deal they did probably in the last few days that was announced, where they're being accepted into a crazy amount of retail outlets in Italy.
Yeah.
It's like, where does it, this is just BTC all over again. BTC was built on community. People forget that BTC is a community. SHIB exploded and went to 41 bill because it was a frigging crazy, unbelievable community and has grown from there.
People ask the same questions. What's the use case of this Bitcoin thing? What do you mean it's digital money? What the hell are you talking about? The same question. You're right. Sorry, I mean 100%.
But it's so insane that you just have to look at history and you can learn so much. And people. I remember when the meme craze come. I mean, I was an early buyer into Doge and posted it on TradingView, and it's all up there still as record. But it's like people were calling me an idiot, saying, "What do you mean? What is this? What's the use case?" I'm like, dude. The use case for this, it can save Argentina. It can save wherever there's problems with money. It can save those countries. Is that a good use case? Well, but how does it do that? It does that because somebody's in the community that's Argentinian and says, "Hey, I'm going to start using this and changing money over." And all of a sudden, he tells his friend that it works, and then another guy gets involved, and all of a sudden, you've got a use case, right? So, it's sending money over the world is one of the biggest, it's what builds the financial world, right? It's like you want to send money from A to B. That's the banking industry. That's what we're trying to take down.
Yeah.
And we're taking it down. That's the crazy thing. People outside of crypto are like, "Oh, that Bitcoin thing went down $500 today. See, it's doomed." They don't get the big picture.
Yep. No, they don't. No, they
100%,
don't.
100%.
Hey, I was looking at your chart. I had it up while you were talking some good stuff. This is a really good looking chart. I want to. So here, I'll throw it to you. What's your? This looks really, really good. And I mean, you've got your like 8.8 million, 1,000 holders. Now, this is obviously on the east side. You've got the Arbitrum side as well. So I'm going to let Euro turn it, give you, some thoughts here.
Okay. I would actually call Uncle Nut, our charting expert.
I picked the wrong. I was trying to give you some time to talk.
No, I'm happy to, but I think hearing him talk about it is actually more educational for me too.
Yeah. Okay. Back to Uncle. You're a ghoster.
Okay, so but you're right. We're in a phase now of consolidation. The enormous volume that's coming through right now is just like, me personally, I couldn't wish for anything better. We've held the price, which is incredible on a first day of trading on a major exchange. Usually the ups and downs would be, crazy. But I can see that this, we do 3-4 days of nice volumes, and we're setting ourselves up for a major impulse. I've spoken about this a lot in the TG group. I've posted some charts, and I'll be doing so probably tomorrow to let everybody know exactly the way I feel it's going to be plotted out. But here's something I want to leave with people. We're an 8.8 million market cap right now, with one T1 today, another T1 coming very soon, and a Shibarium launch. Over the next 8 weeks, I believe we will go from 8.8 million market cap on Ethereum to anywhere from 25 million to 50 million. Now, I posted that, 27 million to 50 million market cap. So that's in 8 weeks from now. So you're talking about anything from a 3x to a 6x in that period of time. Now, if I could look in a crystal ball right now and say, and somebody told me, or the crystal ball told me, hey, in 8 weeks from now, you're going to be 100 million market cap, I wouldn't bat an eyelid. That's me being conservative, saying 27 million to 50 million in 8 weeks from now. In 8 weeks from now, guys, I would do another call. I'll do a chart and I'll plot it out and I'll show how I get to it. I'm going to blow people away with the next prediction that I'm going to make. And those that have followed me from the very beginning, from the ARB launch to the ETH launch, it's all documented. My crew know, the people in our TG know. I called at the very beginning. I said, this is 100 million market cap, no problem at all. This was when we just launched. And I said, once we get into a bull market, we are going to 1 billion market cap minimum. So, I'm an old guy. Look at this. I got gray hair everywhere. I got a gray beard. That gives me some sort of credibility, I think.
So let me ask. So I want to ask a question, which I'm going to start following you even more, Uncle, and that would be awesome. But so gray hair to gray hair. But here's my question. Old guys speak. Here's my question to you. What about macro, right? So not just Sharbi, but macro. And I'm really wanting to now pick your brain about inflation and just all the, not necessarily negative, but the macro stuff, Bitcoin halving. Go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is really easy because I posted this about 2 weeks ago in my TG channel. So I charted out Bitcoin. This is going to scare people. Don't be scared. It's okay. So I said that basically, actually, let me just pull up the exact what I exactly said.
Did you tweet this on your Twitter account?
It's on my TG, and it's pinned message number. Hold on, pinned message number 7. Okay, so here it is. All right, 21st of March. I said Bitcoin to the moon. And by the way, I'll just preempt this. Those that follow me on Twitter know that when Bitcoin was around 16,000 and people like Capo were saying it's going down to 6,000, 7,000, I said BS. We're at the beginning of the new cycle, and you will see a major move within 2 or 3 weeks. That major move came a week and a half out, and that's when we started thrusting above 20, 24, 26, 27, 28, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is what I said on the 21st of March. BTC to the moon. Do things go up in a straight line? No. BTC is cyclical. The cycles have certain catalysts and environments that mobilize cycles. One of the most important is the halving. Over the years, I've learned that the importance of this event and the likely scenarios that play out. There have been 3 halvings since BTC's inception. The fourth halving date is estimated, this is my guess, to be around the 7th of March 2024. This will be plus or minus just a few days, okay? Using a combination of factors including previous history, fractals, technical analysis, Elliott waves, market cap projections, psychology, and the stock to flow model, I'm going to explain where I see Bitcoin going over the next 36 months. So there's your macro, okay? Keep in mind, I'm using Elliott waves to predict the bullish runs and correctional waves. Those who don't know, Elliott waves is comprised of 5 waves in a bullish movement. First wave is up, second wave is down, third wave is up, fourth wave is down, fifth is the last upward wave before the correctional waves kick in again. During the first wave, now we're getting to the meat in the sandwich, right? During the first wave, I expect BTC to hit 50,000 to 55,000, okay? Second wave, correctional wave, I expect Bitcoin to hit 23,000 to 28,000. Third wave, listen to this. It should hit 90 to 100,000, right? Now, fourth wave, we correct back to 50 to 55, which also corresponds with basically the first wave. Now, the fifth wave, which is our parabolic movement, okay? This will come in after halving, okay? We're talking about 450,000 to 525,000. The major move, I suspect, will begin around the halving day. The peak wave will be exaggerated by a combination of scarcity and massive volatility. Now, read between the lines. That will probably mean a ton of banks going redundant. Financial collapse in many, many different... This is like the thing that everybody's been predicting and starting to show its ugly head with what we recently saw. Okay, keep in mind, these numbers are clearly projections, no financial advice. For me personally, I consider a plus 10% either way on the numbers that I just said. Now, I actually put time, like a basic time on the big impulsive move, which is, as I said, post halving. So you could be talking 6 months, 12 months, 18 months post halving, where you get the massive parabolic move. But those that know history and know the market caps that the previous BTC halving peaked at, you'll understand that this, what I'm predicting here is not so silly. Yeah. It's not so crazy. I know I'm a nut, but this is not so crazy.
Oh, 100%. So you think that, so you're seeing, per the Elliott wave scenario, 50 to 90 before the halving? I know we've got pounds, in that scenario.
Well,
is that you're right?
Well, you're going to get 50 to 100 before halving. Like, probably, look, time is always a difficult thing when it comes to reading charts, right? But if I was to guess, I'd say 2 months before halving, you're going to have a peak third wave, which is 90 to 100. Then you're going to have a correctional wave. Because everyone's going to go, they're going to get on the euphoric thing, go, oh, wow, we're going to go into the moon. Then they get the shock of their life when we retrace back to 50,000 to 55,000. And they're going to be calling the bottom. You're going to have guys like Capo going out there saying, oh, we're going down to 15, and frankly, a lot of people that post, and I'm not having a go at anyone here, but a lot of people that post don't have any clue of TA. These are based, just to sort of give you the full picture, this is not just based on Elliott waves, it's based on a lot of other factors like stock to flow model, which is brilliant and has been very, very accurate. It's based on, I do volume trading, and that's why I'm so big on Sharbi, doing 500,000 plus today. It's also looking at what I expect the market cap of Bitcoin to be post-halving. Right, so that gives me a great idea. Now I'm sort of narrowing down to like this sort of numbers, So, yeah, so that's my macro picture on BTC. It's all down in my, TG group, and those that have followed me for a few years know that, I've been a very lucky trader. I'll say lucky, but we've got some pretty good calls consistently. Right.
Man, I got nothing else. Zach, go ahead.
I'm just taking notes, man. No, I appreciate it.
Writing all that shit down. I was like, I don't need paper. Damn it.
I love it.
I'll send you guys over the chart that I drew, and I'll send you over the review that I did. And just sit it there. I pin these things up so people can come back and see it, after the fact, and see it. Like the other thing I did is that when I first started, I had a small group of friends that used to follow my calls, and they always said, "Listen, why don't you just do this publicly?" And it's like, okay, yeah, why not? So I started the TG group up. It made it easier for me to not have to call people up and say, "This is the call." And these sorts of things, by documenting everything down, people can go back to my day one and see what I called and what it is now or what it did. And I think being transparent in this business is very, very hard to find. So
actually. Nut, I want your opinion on this one thing, because I was thinking about this recently, and just kind of get your thoughts on how you think this will play out. What about CBDCs? How do you think they are going to impact? It's pretty apparent they're coming. They're already here. I mean, I think the U.S. has already kind of said that they're going to do a soft rollout in July. It's kind of been hidden in some things that I've read. How does that impact crypto? Does it impact crypto? Does it really matter, or is that kind of separate from crypto? Like, how is this all going to kind of work together? Your thoughts?
Okay, I'm going to answer this in a completely different way, but you'll get my point.
Yep.
Okay, so when the recent bank collapse occurred, it was the first time in history that Bitcoin did not follow the narrative of the world markets or the US markets. It's the first time it decoupled. That to me was like the biggest sign that we are on track to explode. So what I'm saying to you is that it doesn't matter anymore. When a bank goes down now, and they will go down, and they're going to come tumbling down quicker than anybody knows, I give it 2 years. 2 years, and you're going to see the ones that are struggling now, they'll be the first to pop. The bigger ones will be around. They'll stick it out because they've got just sheer power of numbers, and they've got serious government connections, right? We all saw what happened in 2008. The banks and that had the best political connections were the ones that stayed in business and got the rescue package. The ones that weren't so favorable to those in power, unfortunately, they went by the wayside. So to answer your question, BTC decoupled for the first time. To me, that was a eureka moment. And from now on, you're going to see, imagine BTC keeps showing that new trait, that it's decoupled and it's not going to listen to a bank or a problem in the world and then dive down with the markets with Wall Street. No. If it keeps doing that, people are going to go, oh boy, we need to put our money into Bitcoin.
Yep.
And that will be their first point of call. Bitcoin, ETH, and it'll go down, it'll trickle down to alts, the bigger alts, like SHIB, So, yeah, it's exciting times. I mean, I'm so bullish on where we're going, clearly. And I'm so bullish on Sharbi because of the facts that we've gone over today and a relationship with SHIB. And, they're building a massive ecosystem, and we're part of it.
Love it.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's do this. So, wow, thank you, Uncle. That was awesome. Notice how I call you Uncle and Zach calls you Nut. I'm just
like I always say, like, call me whatever you want. Usually in an intro, I say, call me Uncle Nut, call me Nut, call me old, call me young.
Yeah.
Call me whatever you want.
Yeah, just call me, right? That's it. Just call me.
Yeah, just call me.
So let's do this. Let's wrap up. Philip, I'm going to start with you. Kind of go around the horn, final thoughts, and then I'll go to Hero, and then Uncle Zach, and we'll end on that. So go ahead, Philip.
Yeah, amazing conversation. It was a pleasure to talk with you guys, to hear also your opinions about crypto, Shiba Inu, Shibarium, the ecosystem. It's very refreshing to be on a podcast or show with like-minded people who share the same vision within crypto. And let's keep on building together and keep on connecting with each other, and onwards and upwards.
Very cool. Hero?
Yeah, I just kind of want to bring it back to Sharbi, and that there's so much going on that we couldn't even cover it in an hour. There's at least 7 utilities being talked about and worked on. There's community projects, there's community art and music projects. We're building our YouTube channel and our Spotify. I mean, there's so many different things going on that really we couldn't touch on it in an hour. And that we're, as a community, we're doing this without marketing tax. We're doing it all from the community. We're looking for different avenues to raise funds for these exchanges, and this NFT project that just launched today is just another step towards having a treasury wallet that's continuing to grow and continuing to build. And with that, it opens up so many more doors for us, and it is just going to be a really exciting time for us.
Very cool. Uncle?
Yeah, well said, guys. I'll leave a couple of thoughts with people. One is, we are already the most decentralized meme token in crypto. Whether you look at top 10, top 20, top 50, top 100 categories, we're the most distributed. And that's a very, very important point. I also want to say, on the subject of volume, which I love volume, that I can, in my TG, I talk about volume books that you can read, which will give you secrets in crypto, how to make a lot of money. You don't have to look at anything else other than volume in its very raw form. But the volume, to me, is so important right now. And the fact that we have more volume catalysts coming up, and that is another T1 exchange, maybe even 2, Shibarium launch. These are volume catalysts. What happens with the volume catalysts? More community members, more wallets, more distribution, more decentralization. These are massive, massive building blocks, because everything we've done to date has been from a community of, let's say, 6,000, 7,000 people, right, in our socials. But when you amplify those numbers up, and you let's say we look forward 2 months, maybe the 7,000 is 20,000. Now we're doing 3x of the amount of projects, raids, more decentralization into different regions. Our brand is getting out there. So one of our goals was to have everybody in crypto by the end of 2023 know Sharbi's name. So I'll leave it at that. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you guys again. I always have a great conversation. I'm sure it's great with my fellow Sharbi speakers here. And on behalf of the Sharbi community, thank you guys for being so supportive and doing what you do, because without the community, because of the community.
Fair enough. Cool. Welcome, Zach. Any final thoughts?
No, all of this was great. I love the conversation we had here toward the back end, kind of taking it macro. I would just say, look at everything, guys. Like, diversify your portfolio. After this is done, go take a look at what Sharbi's doing. Look at all the Shibarium ecosystem plays. For me, I'm spending a lot of time there. I think, if you're into SHIB, which we're talking to a lot of SHIB holders, people who are into SHIB, look there, because I think, as Nut said, the next several months here, as we get closer and closer to the next cycle, I think the greatest community tokens like Sharbi are going to launch through Shibarium. I truly believe that. So take it upon yourself, go out there, do the research, and diversify, and get ready for this next big wave.
Well, damn it, that's the problem.
Yeah, we just
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, let me I'll get in before you go last.
Yeah.
I just looked at the volume. We're over 525,000 on the volume. We still have another 13, 14 hours to go. So we may even crack, 700,000, 800,000, maybe even higher today. So
that's
unbelievable.
Uncle, just on MEXC, right? That you're looking at?
That's Mexi and the DEX, but the DEX don't make up much of that, proportion. So, probably Mexi's probably around 300, 350, something like that.
Your volume, 24-hour volume showing on the east side is 90,000 right now. That's what DEX is showing. So obviously the preponderance of that is definitely coming in on Mex. Yep. I love, Zach, that you talk about Shibarium, but I think the one thing I want to go back, Uncle, to is your Bitcoin, your waves and the ups and the downs and respectively. And I think that people lose sight of that, right? So let's say Bitcoin goes from now to say 50,000 and then it pulls back. I think that is what Zach and I try to spend an insane amount of time is from the educational standpoint is that you're going to have ups and you're going to have pullbacks, and that's okay. Because when Bitcoin goes to 50 and starts pulling back to say 35, you have everybody who starts to think that the ship's on fire and, oh my God, I got to jump off, and and associated other tokens and coins, right? And so I think that's the thing I want to come. My final thought is know that you're going to have ups and downs with Bitcoin and these these respective moves, ups and downs, and it's all right. Have a plan to weather those those proverbial times, and I think that's my final thought is that, and I love that.
It's an awesome thought. Yeah, that's an awesome thought, and it's how I trade. Actually, is that I have a plan. So even with Sharbi, I have a plan. I know what the market cap I'm aiming for is, and I don't care if it goes down $2 million in a day. It doesn't mean anything. It's actually an opportunity to keep topping up. Yeah. So as a trader, or you need to understand, or not just a trader, as an investor, put your money in something, but before you put your money in it, have a market cap in your brain that's when I'm going to take 10% out. Yep. And then have another market cap in your brain when I'm going to take another 10% out. So if you become systematic at this, you're going to be an amazing investor and you're going to surprise yourself. But without a plan, you trade emotions, and that's what 99% of people do. They trade emotions and they regret, a month or 2 months later. And how many times have I heard, and you guys heard, somebody saying they sold something and the next day it exploded. And they're like, oh, I'm the best indicator. They'll say, oh, I'm about to sell or buy. If I buy, it means it's going to go down 20%. If I sell, it's going to go up 20%. So, but that's why you got to have a plan. You don't care about that 20%. So it's great advice what you just said. Have a plan.
Yep. Amen, brother. All right, we're done. We're going to end on that.
It was fun, guys.
All right,
it was
awesome. So again, all things Sharbi are down.
The old guys rule, man. The old guys rule.
The old guys rule. Exactly. Old guys in crypto. Not a lot of us. So there you go. You guys stick around after we end and we'll have a chat. But thank you guys for stopping by. We had 200 plus concurrent on my channel. I'm sure Zach had similar numbers. So everybody watching this on the replay, all description below, all things Sharbi. We'll see you guys. Have a good one. Take care.